Hello friends, myself Lakhan Veena, Assistant Professor English from Government College Chomela, Jalava. You are welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will study the half of the poem, second quatrain. He can requite thee, for he know the charms that call fame on such gentle acts as these, and he can spread thy name over hands and stars, whatever climb the sun bright circle warms. Let's see meanings of these lines. Requite, reward or repay. He, the poet, charms, spells, enchantments, I, the magical pairs of poetry. That call fame on, that make such courteous acts famous. Gentle acts like protecting the poet's house. Spread thy name, make it well known everywhere. Over land and seas, far and wide, whatever the climb in every rain land, the word climb and climate originally meant the same. Why region and rain land now both words mean the temperature and general atmosphere conditions of rain of land. The sun's bright circle, the spinning or sphere of the sun. Now let's see the explanation of these lines. He can requite the for he knows the charms. He can require the for he know the charms that call fame on such gentle acts as these, and he can spread thy name over hands and stars, whatever climb the sun's bright circle bombs. These lines are an extract from Milton's sonnet entitled When the Assault was intended to the city, addressing the imaginary toilet officer who may come to attack his house. The poet says that he should be kind to spare his house from attack. Milton says that for this act of kindness he will amply reward him by the gift of his poetic powers. He says that he will compose poems in praise of the officer. His fame will thus spread far and wide to the most distant parts of the world. In every rain which glitters with the shining of or sphere of the sun, the fame of the warrior officer will go. The poems of Milton about his generous act will be read in the most distant parts of the world. Let's see the next lines. Lift not thy spear near the muses bow, the great Amphithean conqueror would spare the house of Pandarus, the temple and top bent to the ground, and the repeated air of set Electra poets had the power to save Athenian walls from ruin bare. These lines are an extract from Milton's sonnet entitled When the Assault Was Intended to the City. Milton, conscious of his gift as a poet, promises immortal fame to the royalist holder, who, out of respect from him as a poet, spares him in his house. Though he belongs to the hated Republican camp, the poet assures the royalist officer that for his act of kindness. He will make him famous throughout the world by writing poem in his praise. Milton gave the example of the old warriors who had respected poets had shown great consideration to their poetry. On the basis of past examples, the poet warned that the royalist officer should save him from danger when Alexander the Great, here called the Great Amphion, conquered because he was born in Amphitha in Macedonia, captured and sacked the city of Thebes in 353 BC. He spared the house in which the great Greek lyric poet Pindar had been born some 2 centuries earlier. Alexander gave strict order that the house in which Pindar had lived should be spared. The second example that Milton gives is of Lysander, the great Spartan leader. When the Spartans defeated the Athenians in 404 BC, they remained from destroying Athens on hearing part of chorus from Electra, a tragedy by the famous Athenian poet Euripides. Milton, giving the two examples from ancient history, pleads for the protection of his abode against vandalism or attack by the royalist soldiers. Critical notes of the lines. Alexander gave strict orders that the house in which Pindar had lived should be spared. Alexander may have been influenced by the fact that the ancestor Alexander of Macedon had been one of Pindar's chief patrons. Alexander himself was also interested in Greek literature. In his youth, he was said to study in the school of Aristotle in Athens. Milton has several references to the poet Pindar in his works. Second point, said Electra's poets. Euripides was a great tragic poet. One of his greatest works was the Electra. Euripides was one of Milton's favorite authors, and there are many references to him in his works. In his preface to Samos Agonistes, he speaks to Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, the three tragic poets unrivaled by any and the best rule to all who endeavor to write tragedy. Now your poem has finished.